What's up, peeps? Julian Williams here at the distance. As you can tell, I'm here. It's been a couple weeks. Got a new look, to an extent. I decided to go with the older look, or excuse me, my version of the hippie look. If you look at the Beatles Sgt. Pepper phase, yeah, that's pretty much the phase I'm going through. I downloaded a bunch of Beatles albums anyway. But anyway, this is not the 60s, this is 2011. So let's talk about 2011 fight. And this 2011 fight is going to be a prediction for an upcoming bout between Bernard Hopkins and Chad Dawson. It's going to be for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship and Ring Magazine Light Heavyweight Championship on October 15th in the Staples Center. This bout is pretty much highly demanded. Been on high demand for quite a while. The man did go down a little bit after the fight between Dawson and Pascal, like August of last year, but it didn't go down all that much. But it did go down a little bit. Like, I think it could have been a much bigger fight if it was made like 2 years ago, like in 2009 or when Hopkins and Jones were pretty much talking about facing each other. I thought that's when the fight should have happened. So this is not going to be one of the videos where I get diarrhea of the mouth and I continue to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk like I'm doing right now. I'm just going to pretty much get into the fight and break the shit down like I normally do and get it wrong, alright? Anyway, let's talk about Chad Dawson. Chad Dawson's coming off a victory on the same night that Hopkins became the oldest champion in boxing history over Adrian Diacono. Pretty much very good bout. He was very disciplined, but also he got those moments to where he did, take his foot off the gas a little bit, and he did get hit with punches that he shouldn't have been hit with, and he was stunned a couple times in the fight, and it just seemed to be, I guess he kind of went back into the old Chad Dawson a little bit. Right now, he's training with Emmanuel Stewart, and with Emmanuel Stewart, we all know Emmanuel Stewart's history with taller fighters, tall fighters in their divisions. And Chad Dawson, is very offensive and defensive minded, but also, like I said, he gets lazy in there. And there's some fighters that Emmanuel Stewart, can train well, like Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Klitschko, two heavyweights. But in some cases, it didn't even work out too well. Kermit Cintron and Jermaine Taylor. Those are two cases of where training with Emmanuel Stewart did not work so well. Chad Dawson, right now, to me, since he was in only one fight with Emmanuel Stewart, I have to say it's in between. Though Vladimir did go in against Williamson back in 2004 and lose his first fight with Stewart, look at him now. He's getting paper. Alright, I'm fucking with you guys. Look at him now. He's like the number one heavyweight in the world at the moment. So I think if Chad Dawson's going to continue to train with Emmanuel Stewart, then he might as well just stick to that format. He might as well stick to that format for the next few fights and see how well it does, and not do it for like 2 or 3 fights and just go on from there. Like see the improvements that he makes. In this battle against Bernard Hopkins, youth is I think should play a huge role if he uses it the right way. If you look at the Jermaine Taylor fight, we all can say to an extent that it is a blueprint on how to beat Hopkins, is to keep Hopkins on the defensive and staying on the offensive. And though both Jermaine Taylor fights are fights that you can argue whether or not Bernard Hopkins won, Jermaine Taylor did come out and he did start blazing fast and try to keep Hopkins on the defensive and try to make Hopkins have to work. In this bout, Chad Dawson, being that he's a southpaw, he's going to be at an awkward angle. He does want to use movement to avoid the short right hand that Bernard Hopkins likes to throw. He also wants to move primarily to his own right to pretty much look for the left hook. Southpaws like to throw the left hook. He doesn't want Hopkins inside of his lead foot. He does want to look for the uppercut on the outside. He does want to look at punching that volume and maintaining that type of strategy throughout the entire bout. If he could stay on the outside, try to keep Hopkins at the end of his jab, if he try to keep him at the end of his punches, and also incorporate movement, then very well he can make Hopkins miss and pretty much stay on the outside to where Hopkins isn't trying to clinch him, and look for the short right and left hook inside, which Hopkins likes to throw, of course. Also, he does want to try to keep the glove up to avoid the lead left hook that Hopkins likes to throw from the outside and likes to sneak on you. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that Chad Dawson needs to do, staying on the outside. And the difference between a Chad Dawson and a Jean Pascal is we've seen Chad Dawson fade and get lazy, but he doesn't like fade tremendously and just stop working like a Jean Pascal. He doesn't, he's not like Chad Dawson to me. I think Chad Dawson perhaps maybe better than Jean Pascal. That's just my opinion. Even though he did lose the fight last year, I think he's an overall better boxer than Pascal, if you ask me. And I think that Chad Dawson would win a rematch against him. But I think that standing on the outside, not trading, using movement, look for the left hook, look for the right uppercut, and not even stand inside. And I think he could very well win this bout if he fights as safe as he possibly can, keeping them at the end of all of his shots, holding it. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even say hold. Fuck that. No, don't hold. Just keep your ass on the outside, basically. Keep him at the end of your shots. For Bernard Hopkins, the master, the mastermind, pretty much defensive genius, counterpuncher. Against a Chad Dawson, there's going to be numerous openings. There's going to be a plethora of openings that he's going to have against Chad Dawson. Even though Chad Dawson does use his legs and keeps kind of a wide base in the pocket, he does tend to get hit with that second or third shot that comes in a combination. And that usually comes, when he's sitting on leads from time to time. Hopkins definitely is definitely gonna have the short right hand. The short right hand shot inside. He's definitely going to have that punch. If Dawson is standing in front of him, of course. And I think Bernard will be able to cut off the angles from him, using his own lateral movement, stepping to the side, using his feet, using his own angles to try to get inside and catch Chad Dawson with the short right hand. That's going to be the main bread and butter punch for Bernard Hopkins, the short right hand. And along with the short right hand, followed up with his left hook, left hook behind it. Pretty much make this fight as much of a slow-paced fight as possible. Clinch inside, short straight right hand, left hook. Occasionally go to the body. That's going to slow him down. Use some old school tactics. Go to the, hit him right on the hip. Take the legs away. Go to the body. That's going to slow down Dawson. Dawson does slow down from time to time in fights. Gets lazy in there. So pretty much make Chad Dawson pay for his mistakes, to where he's never going to do it again. That's going to be the kind of fight that Bernard Hopkins wants to fight with Chad Dawson. He wants this to be a counter-punching match with Chad Dawson. He doesn't really want it to be all that much of a boxing match, but hell, he wants it to be a boxing lesson. And I'm going to go with Bernard Hopkins giving Chad Dawson that boxing lesson. Due to the fact that Bernard Hopkins has a good history with southpaw fighters, and two, his short right hand. Like I said, the short right hand, even maybe the lead left hook is going to get Chad Dawson. Also the clinching. Bernard is a better inside fighter than Chad Dawson. I think he fights better inside. He knows how to throw his punches inside. He knows how to put them together inside. But like I said, if Dawson can stand outside and put his punches together well and move and make Hopkins miss, then best be it to him. But at a time that ring's going to get smaller, and Bernard Hopkins is going to get there and counter the hell out of him and get the unanimous decision. So anyway, guys, that was the distance. That was the wrong prediction. I'm out of here. Peace.